So what's up, everybody? This is your boy Jonathan. So wanted to talk to you guys about today is how you can use nerd culture or things you like in your life to your advantage and help it influence you. And I was thinking about topics for videos, and I was thinking about when I went into college, right? And when I was at the university, a lot of girls were into anime. They were like super hardcore into anime and things like that. Or like raver, or they were into all these subcultures. But they made those subcultures attractive. Like the girls that were into anime, right? They would wear like schoolgirl outfits or whatever. Or like, if they were into like raver culture, they would wear like a hot raver girl outfit. Something like that, You can look online to all these shuffle videos where like girls are shuffling to these old school 90s techno songs, 90s dance music, and they're like wearing like cute booty shorts and tops and have little schoolgirl braids and like sneakers on and shuffling. It's cute. And they're into different cultures and stuff. And I think one of the things is that guys, we get obsessed with these subcultures, but then we don't actually use them to our advantage. We don't let these subcultures help us become attractive. And so that's what I want to talk to you today. How do you make these subcultures attractive, right? So like, I know a lot of people are into anime, right? And so with anime, I noticed that a lot of the characters in anime are really neat and clean and put together. A lot of them dress like schoolboys, or a lot of them, just when they're not in schoolboy outfits, they look neat and clean and fresh. None of them wear otaku t-shirts. None of them really wear like different types of nerd culture t-shirts or attire. And they're all sweet and polite and, cute and innocent. And I think, you could take it less into that. So if you're an anime fan, instead of letting the idea of anime culture control, your look or your style, like with a bunch of anime pins and anime t-shirts, you should actually take influence on like what the guys in the show do. You know what I'm saying? How do they act? How do they dress? How do they carry themselves? Are they neat and clean? That'll help you guys out. Another thing, I know that a lot of sci-fi and like Star Wars and Star Trek are popular. And I know like a lot of the superhero movies are popular, right? So instead of wearing the t-shirts of like your favorite superhero characters, or getting Captain America backpack, or like, Iron Man, fitted hat that looks ridiculous, why don't you actually look at their outfit? Why don't you actually look at their style? Why don't you actually look at the way they carry themselves and use that to influence your life? Like, I'm not a big Marvel movie fan, but I know like Tony Stark's is a ladies' man, and he dresses neat and clean and has a lot of, very well groomed and, very social. And it's like, you could take that as an example of how you could be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other characters, like I know Spider-Man, like in Spider-Man Homecoming, he was a cool little teenager or whatever. He dressed neat and clean, was very social at school, whatever. That should help you influence your life. The Kick-Ass movie was the same thing. The guy, he dressed neat and clean. He was kind of a nerd, but he wasn't throwing his nerd culture out like that. He dressed kind of conservative, like he, dressed like, bought everything from Old Navy, which was cool, but neat and clean. He kept his hair, he had long hair, but it was clean, and he was a nice guy. So these things, you could use these things to influence the way you are. You know what I'm saying? Like I still kind of am into furry culture, but furry culture was a big thing for me, like for about a couple of months. And I've got a lot of influence through that. Like if you look at a lot of furry artwork, the way that the anthropomorphic animals are dressing, neat and clean. A lot of them have like colorful flannels on, which are colorful plaid shirts. Just the style. I like to imitate the style. A lot of the drawings are taken of the furries on like beach hanging out with friends or whatever. And it's a lot of beach culture, and beach culture is attractive because it's very relaxed, very mellow. So like, you know, a lot of beach culture has used a lot of beach culture to influence my style and the way I am. A lot of furries are very like kind of like dogs. You know how dogs love everybody and dogs be willing to get petted and huggy and touchy-feely and stuff, you know, and I've learned how to use that to my advantage and become a little bit like that. So, you know, like I said, you don't have to wear a furry t-shirt and then cat ears and, you know, raver pants and, you know, a little dog collar around your neck. But, you know, you could still take some influence out of it. So it's all about getting the right influences from like the sci-fi stuff you like or the nerd culture you like and use it to the advantages, right? And so that's what we're talking about. Yeah, it's just even I used to like that anime Robotech back in the day. If any of you know Robotech, it's like a giant robot mecha or something. Like the guys, they're in space and they fly these jet fighters that turn into giant robots. But like if you watch like Rick Hunter's style from the show, like how he dresses, he dressed so slick. Like I could tell he got all the girls because, you know, he wore like collared shirts and he used to have the little scarf around his neck that they used to wear in the 70s, and he used to have these sweaters on and these nice pants and nice shoes, and you know what I'm saying? So I didn't pay attention till letting his giant robot persona influence my style. I let his real world style, you know, influence me. And, you know, so there's a lot of stuff out there like you can take advantage of. And so just think about it. Next time you get into your little nerd culture or play your video games or watch your anime, just think about what would be something that, you know, is very attractive that you could use in the real world, you know, and then, you know, use that to influence your style. All right. This is Jonathan. I'm out, y'all. Peace.